So you don't have to have one to get to being a chief data scientist. And nobody believes me. What you have to have is passion and curiosity. The industry doesn't care about all the research side. They want to know that you can take business problems and solve them.
Hi, Laura.
Hi.
Would you like to introduce your role at Microsoft?
I was the chief data scientist for AI, new markets, innovation, and sustainability. That 9-year role, you can think of my team as incubators of new technology in the AI space. So what you see in the co-pilots and OpenAI today that's on Azure was my team who incubated that many years ago.
Wow, that's amazing. What are some OpenAI projects you worked on?
Yeah, I worked on Whisper before it was called Whisper, where I was using the sound of predictive maintenance failures. And I got the idea when I took my BMW into the shop one day and I said to the guy, it's making a noise like this. Suddenly it hit me, if we could record and understand the sounds of predictive maintenance failures, not just events happening on scale, we can do better prediction, especially for people like me who can't articulate what's wrong with their car other than saying the sound. And I was right. So Whisper, as it is today, that voice-enabled AI, is something that I worked on with them long ago.
And tell us your journey on becoming a chief data scientist.
Sure, and I'll start by saying I don't have a PhD, though I'm working on it now. So you don't have to have one to get to being a chief data scientist. And nobody believes me. What you have to have is passion and curiosity and ask the right questions. So I was a quantum physicist who loves statistics, and that's what started my journey at Apple. And so I just always found roles no one wanted to do, and I did them. And I did them passionately, and I asked a lot of questions. Fast forward to now, and they saw that passion and put me into that leadership role where I could then expand upon that for Microsoft. So if I were to leave you with one message, it's that one, you can do this before you have a PhD without a PhD. Don't let that be your limiting factor. And two, if you do have a PhD, that's great. But remember, the industry doesn't care about all the research side. They want to know that you can take business problems and solve them.
It's inspiring to hear. What are some resources you would recommend to get started with data science?
So I think one of the first things you should do is find a network of people. So I would go on LinkedIn, and I'll give you an example. I have a podcast that supports girls of STEM, and a very young girl reached out to me via LinkedIn one day and asked me if I would mentor her project in data science because she was not a data scientist. And I was so inspired by the use case and the personal nature of that story that I said yes. And so I think having a network and willing to reach out to people like myself, executives at the various tech firms, is the most important thing you can do. It's called an eye for AI. So like an eye for an eye, but an eye for AI.
Do you have one piece of advice you found so far?
I would say, just like at this conference, take a chance, find the most senior person there, and walk up to them. The worst thing they can do is say they're busy or they can't talk to you right now. But like the folks coming to talk to me, you could also have the great opportunity of then having a new connection and maybe finding out about a role. I know it's hard, but there are others like me who are willing to sponsor and mentor you out there if you just reach out and ask.
Thank you so much.